gonna tell you about a consultation that I had last week. And this really sparked the need for me to come on and make this video. But before we get to that, man, look at this. I like getting up early in the morning and just going for a walk. You get to see all type of cool views and all that type of stuff. I'm out here. I got my puppy over there. She doing her thing. But this consultation that I had, it really sparked me to make this video, because there's two things that you shouldn't do when you're starting a business, and I'm guilty of one of them, right? And I'm gonna get to that in a minute. So I have this consultation. Dang, it's cold. I have this consultation, right? And the girl or lady, she was saying that, she was watching one of my videos and she's gonna follow in my footsteps, and she tells me what she's getting ready to do. And as she's telling me what she's getting ready to do, I have to stop her, because I tell her, I say, hey, you didn't watch the rest of that video. That's what I did, but that's not what you should do, right? I don't want you to make the same mistake that I made. So as we're talking, I convince her to do the thing that she's actually supposed to do. So we'll get to that in a minute. I'm gonna tell you exactly what that was here in a second. The first thing that I'm gonna say that you shouldn't do when you're starting a business, you don't need to take out a loan. You don't need a loan. You don't need anything. In my personal opinion, most businesses, especially service-based businesses, you need to go ahead and bootstrap those businesses. Put the work in, sweat it out, learn what you're doing, and as you start to grow your business, make sure that you're putting money away so that you can invest. The only time I would suggest anyone take out a loan or get some sort of funding is if it's absolutely 100% needed. Say, for example, they're building houses over here where I'm at. I don't know if you can see in the back those cranes or whatever the heck they are. But if you're starting a construction company and you know the business, you know how to work the equipment, you know all the things that you need to do in order to be successful with that particular type of equipment or whatever field that you're going into, and you know that you absolutely need a grant or a loan or whatever, not necessarily a grant, but a loan, so that you can get the materials you need, so that you can get the equipment that you need, then by all means do your big one, right? But for most of us, you're starting a cleaning business, a painting business, anything that, that you can go out and put your best effort towards and you don't necessarily have to go in debt for, I'm gonna always advise you to do that. It's really easy to take quick, fast money and put yourself out of business really before you even get started. So that's really the big one. You don't need to raise money. You don't need to, take out any types of loans, anything crazy. Fund your business through the equity that you put into your business. In this particular industry I'm in, you don't need a lot. What do you need? A mop bucket, a vacuum, some towels, a couple rags. You could really get started on a shoestring budget in this industry. And that's really one of the reasons why I got into it, because, it's attractive. I don't got to spend that much money. Mamba, I don't know where she went. But yeah, you don't need to spend a whole lot of money, doing those things, right? Now, as it goes back to the girl that I was just talking about. So the girl says she's watching my video and she wants to take the route that I took. I tell her, listen, that is a big mistake. Do not do that. I put myself under so much stress by doing it that way. And I'm also going to give you a tip too at the end of all of this. But I said, I put myself through a lot of stress. So what we're talking about is starting a business before you have any real clients or before your business is taken off to the point where your job is getting in your way. You mess around and just quit your job, and now you're relying 100% on your business to fund the business, fund your lifestyle, grow the business, marketing, all of the things. You're relying strictly on the business. That's a mistake that I made, and she was getting ready to make that mistake, and I had to talk her, hey, don't quit your job yet. Do not quit your job. I always say, now, they say in hindsight, everything's 20/20. I tell people now, listen, work your job. Start your business. your business is probably going to look like a side hustle for a while. That's perfectly fine. Learn what you're doing in the business. Learn how to market. Learn how to turn prospects into clients. Learn how to upsell when you're out and you're talking with these clients. Learn, or these prospects, before you turn them into clients, or even when they're already clients. Learn how to upsell them, right? Make it so that you want enough money coming into your business that your job eventually starts to look like, a side hustle that's now getting in the way. You want to be in a position to where ideally, if I can go back and do it all over again, this is why I'm telling you. I'm only telling you what I would do if I can go back and start all the way over. I would work in my business. I would work in my business and my job. That crow scared the hell out of me. I don't know what that was. I work in my business and my job. I would work my business once I got off from work. And as soon as I started to grow, as soon as I'm growing my business and continuing to grow it, I would then bring in an employee. Bring an employee to do the cleaning, do all of the day-to-day stuff, right? And I bring in another employee. Then I bring in another employee. By the time it's time for me to quit my job, I have enough employees and enough businesses and enough new clients that when I leave my role from being, or when I leave my job, that I'm walking directly into a manager position, right? Managerial or above. Or maybe I'm just going out and I'm doing walkthroughs, or whatever industry it is that you're thinking about getting into. I would make sure that I'm not going in on the bottom level and I'm having to do that full time. I'm gonna make sure I got enough income coming in to take care of everything. And that's the blueprint. That's the way that I would, if I was starting over, that's the way that I would start my business. I wouldn't do it, the way that I did before, which is go in and just, I started a business. Here we go. I'm my own boss. Man, there's so much stress that comes with that. And if you're not ready for it, it could really cause you some serious problems. So always take that into consideration. Those are the top two things, right? Now, here's the tip. All right, I had to cut the camera real quick. I had Mamba off the leash and another pack of dogs was coming. But the last thing, right? So I gave you the two tips that I would give anybody who's just starting a business, right? The last thing is this, and this is a really useful tip that no one really talks about. Say you followed my advice. You didn't take out any loans. You stayed in your job as long as you could till your job started to get in the way of your business. Now you're working in your business full time. You have staff, everything's going good. But let's say, for example, something goes wrong, right? And things, you got to be prepared. So I'm going to tell you this now. If something goes wrong in your business, I would suggest you go back, or don't be afraid to go back and get a job. Don't be afraid to go back and work. There's nothing wrong with it. You're just going to have to figure out where the bottleneck was in your business and get yourself out of it. Because what happens is we become entrepreneurs and we're doing our thing, and everyone around us is happy and proud, because most people aren't entrepreneurs, let's face it. Most people don't go through the steps and do the process and all the things they need to do to become an entrepreneur. That's just life. That's just what it is. So when you become an entrepreneur and you're working full time and you got staff and you got the whole thing, your logos and your company and you got your business phone and all, people around you see you in a different light, right? They're going to see you in a different light. Now, when they see you in a different light, Mamba, sit. Good. Break. So when they see you in a different light, if you're in a position where you have to go back and get a job, that can bother your ego. It could fuck with people's ego, and I understand it. Listen, man, at the end of the day, money pays the bills. Ego and pride don't do shit but hurt. You know what I'm saying? So if you're in a situation where you got to go back to work, you're not a failure, right? Your business isn't failing. This is all a learning lesson. And if this is your first time, running a business or being in business, it's okay. Just like the first time you rode a bike, you wasn't popping wheelies on that bitch the first time you rode it. So you had to fall off a couple times before you got it right. So keep that in mind. Yo, that's it for today's video. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.